Something that almost never gets talked about in banjo instructional material is how to fret a string, how to make a string go up in pitch by pressing it down on one of these frets. These metal wires that go across here are called frets. They serve the purpose of changing the pitch in regular intervals by fretting the string at that fret. Each fret is 1/2 step. Sometimes it takes 2 half steps to make a whole tone, sometimes just one. What we want to do is press the string down just hard enough to hit the fret wire. You don't need to touch the wood in between the strings or in between the frets, because what happens is that note goes sharp if I press down too hard. Plus, it's not necessary. Remember, the banjo is very heavy right hand, very light left hand. Now you notice when I fret the string, I'm placing my finger just behind the fret wire. If I go on top of it, it mutes it. If I go too far back, it buzzes. Right about here. Now, one of the things that I deal with my students is the ability to clear strings around fretted strings. If I'm fretting the first string, I can fret it all the way to the outside like this, because there's nothing out here. If I fret it too far inside, I'll mute the second string. So I can go like this, and I'm clear of the second string. So in an open C chord, I can fret both of these strings to the outside, because in this case the first one hangs over my finger hangs over the side. The second, I can actually touch the first string, doesn't matter, it's fretted below there. Now where this gets problematic is something like a D7, where I'm fretting the second string at the first fret and the third string at the second fret. I can't touch the first string. If I do, that'll happen. If my hand is too far over, I'll touch the meat of my hand against that string and buzz it. Then when I reach over for the third string, second fret, it has to clear both the 4 and the second string. So it's got to be dead right in the middle. The way you fret is not to lay your fingers down like this, but to put the first digit of your finger perpendicular. And I notice a lot of people want to hold a banjo like it's a violin or something, with their hand pulled away from it and reaching way around and doing this. That's way more work than you need to do. No matter what size your hand is, you can just comfortably rest the neck in the crotch between your thumb and forefinger. Just bend your fingers over. I have no clearance problem there with the first string, and I'm able to get to the second and third and not touch the 1 and 4. Now this will take some work on your part. One thing I've determined over teaching over the years is that everybody's hands are a little different. But whatever it takes, get the neck as close to the crotch of your thumb and forefinger as possible. That leaves the most finger out here to bend over. If you hold it back like this, you have very little finger to bend over. So something like this with the fingers bent right over. Now there's not a lot of clearance between the first string and my hand in there, if you can see in there, but there's enough. It just takes some practice.